is just so much damage to those Zerglings. They have to back off immediately because they cannot take that thing down just by themselves. Going back to the blue Zerg player's base, Baldan here, he does have more drones, it looks like. He is producing some more drones. But unfortunately for him, his queen is apparently not in the base. I'm not sure what happened to his queen, but he does not have it in his base anymore, which that is very, very important. And the Zerg player Baldan trying to pick off some more workers, but and going for these towers initially, because if he can take the towers out, then he can have free reign over Blaze's base. But Blaze now has some Marines in the fray as well, and they're not going to be able to take this down. He's down, Baldan is now down to 4 Mutalisks, and one of them actually extremely low on hit points. So there's not a whole lot he can do at this point. He's really going to have to try to macro back up so he can get a decent-sized army. He does have another queen now, so he is going to be able to get that production advantage going with producing the extra larvae back at his base. And I would think that he should get an expansion here sometime soon, because not only has Blaze mined out a good portion of the high-yield minerals, he is also mining very strongly his natural expansion back in the lower left corner of the map here, which Baldan does have 4 Mutalisks sitting back here, which are starting to regain some HP. But with how many turrets and Marines rather, that are back here at this base, I don't think that there's much that he can do with these Mutalisks at this point in time, unless he adds to their numbers significantly and also throws in possibly some Roaches. Roaches would actually be a really good counter for this right now, because Roaches do a lot of damage to buildings, they do a lot of damage to Marines, and these turrets obviously can't attack ground. So if he went with a ground-heavy army, then he would probably do quite well against this. The problem is with how many SCVs that Blaze has at his base right now, and how many resources he has coming in, he can afford to repair that that planetary fortress for quite some time before he runs out of minerals and really needs to worry about losing that thing. Planetary fortresses are extremely strong if you've got SCVs backing them up to repair them, and even some units in addition, which you can see that he's got a handful of Marines here to back up that planetary fortress. So there's a lot to consider in this particular match right now. It does seem that the Zerg player is expanding to his own high yield base, so he's going to try to get this to get a little bit of a leg up on the economy, because right now again, the Terran player is probably ahead as far as economy goes. You can see right now that they're about even on their mineral income. The Zerg player is ahead on the gas right now, but if we look at their spending, there's more money in the Terran technology, and they're about even in the army, and there's more money in the Terran economy right now. So the Terran player does have the advantage on the economy and the technology, so they've got that going for them, although they don't have a whole lot of tech at this point. Even though they've got the technology advantage slightly, they haven't moved on to a factory or anything like that. Most of their tech is wrapped up in Tier 1 with these bunkers, the turrets, the tech lab on their barracks, although they are building another command center here to expand again, so hopefully they will start using that to their advantage as well. But the Zerg player is sending out some Lings, and it looks like they've got some Corruptors on the way too. I'm wondering if they might be trying to get a Greater Spire here. They are building another Spire. I guess they lost their original Spire. I'm sorry, I must have missed that. But building another Spire here, and they may be getting a Greater Spire. I'm sorry, they're updating to a Greater Spire right now. So the Greater Spire, and I'm guessing they're going to put these into Broodlords, because the Broodlords are very similar to the Guardians in StarCraft 1. They have a lot of range, they're great for sieging, and I believe that they outrange turrets, so they should be good for breaking down this aerial defense that the red player has set up so well right now. And it looks like Blaze is going for some Reapers as well. He's got 5 of those. Reapers are great for harassment. If you can get them in and out of a base quickly, you can do a lot of damage in a quick amount of time. And if you control them well, you won't lose many of your Reapers. So it looks like he's going to move out and try to do some harassment here. I'm not sure if he's aware of this base right now. Let's see if he's got vision. No, he is not aware yet that the Zerg player has expanded to the high yield minerals, although he may be crossing paths with it here shortly. It does look like the Zerg player is starting to morph in some Broodlords, so we should see him sieging that up relatively shortly here. Yeah, and here they come. These things kind of look like big stingrays, and they shoot little stingrays more or less, which do damage, and then you can see they pop out these little broodlings which continue to do damage to the buildings. So these little broodlings that come out have a very short life, and they don't do much damage, but if you've got enough of these Broodlords attacking, that damage can stack up pretty quickly. Although it looks like the Terran player is countering with his own assault here. He manages to take out all the miners at Blue's main. Baldan has no economy at his main base now, and he may very well lose his hive, because he does not have anything to defend against it. Although a couple Mutalisks did just pop out, so he may be able to kill these Reapers before they're able to take this down, which it looks like he's going to. Reapers again, just the 5 or 6 Reapers that he had in his base, in the short time that they were there, managed to do a tremendous amount of damage. As you can see, he did almost 2,000 hit points worth of damage to that hatchery in just the time they were there. And it looks like he's got 3 more over here at the expansion. The Zerg player literally has no economy right now and only a couple hundred minerals, so they are in bad shape. They did lose his hatchery, and they don't have any drones, but the Broodlords here at the Terran player's base are starting to kind of break into their base here. We do see that the planetary fortress currently has the fungal growth on it, so it is unable to attack. That is actually a fantastic strategy. That's not one I've seen used yet. But the fungal growth actually was preventing that planetary fortress from attacking, which allowed those broodlings to do more damage, and also he was able to get the Zerglings in there to help out with that. The Broodlords continuing to just attack the Terran barracks here, and the drones here, I'm sorry, the SCV is still mining, not really repairing. He may lose this barracks if he's not careful. There we go, we've got some, oh, and here comes the fungal growth again, preventing this planetary fortress from defending. Although he does have a lot of turrets here, so he is able to keep off these corruptors from getting too much more of that off, because if you put this, as you can see, it's on the barracks here now too, which is preventing the Terran player from producing any more Marines from this barracks right now. So he's basically got 1 barracks, 2, 3, he's got 3 barracks, 1 of them is down. He's also got a factory, although he's not producing anything out of it currently. And the Zerg player is not trying to get up any of their economy right now. I'm not sure what's going on with this. He's got some minerals left. He apparently wants to try to take the Terran player down with the units that he has left, but unfortunately for him, he doesn't know that the Terran player is currently, Blaze is currently expanding up back into his main base again, his initial main base, and that is probably going to be game. I don't see Baldan coming back from this at this point, because he's got no economy. He's only got a handful of units left, and with the planetary fortress here to help defend against ground, and he's got the economy coming in that he can continue to produce Marines and slowly chip away at these Broodlords. I don't see Baldan being able to come back and take Blaze out of this, although that is a tremendous amount of damage that these things do to Marines. That was pretty ridiculous. I'm not sure off the top of my head what these do. Let's see here, 25 damage with a Marine only being at 45 hit points. Basically, they've got to get 2 shots off to kill a Marine, so that's pretty quick. Here we go. The Zerg player, Baldan, does see that there are some buildings going up here from the Terran player. Terran player starting to build Vikings so that he can counter this air, because he's got no real answer for these Broodlords right now, other than these Marines, which die extremely quick to Broodlords. We do see the Mutalisks coming in, providing some additional support, although there is still a couple turrets here in Blaze's base, so those are not going to be able to be extremely effective. I'm not sure why he is not starting. Okay, there we go. He is starting to produce drones here finally again, and he's only got 4 right now, but his economy is extremely hurt. And at this point, he's basically one-basing on his base that has been half mined out versus Blaze, who is now at 2 bases. And he does have Vikings coming out now to counter these Broodlords. Now, Corruptors are also very good anti-air, so between the Mutalisks and the Corruptors, he should be able to hold off some initial Vikings. Although if he doesn't get an economy back up so that he can continue to produce anti-air, he's going to lose those very quickly. And the Terran player continuing to have to repair this planetary fortress because they do not attack air. So these Broodlords, oh, and he GG's right now. He knows that he's beat because his economy is gone. So that was a very exciting game. I haven't seen that strategy used effectively yet. I've seen a lot of people try it, but nobody's actually effectively used it yet. So props to Blaze for pulling off a great strategy, and GG. Thanks, guys, for watching, and we'll see you next time.